turned on my heat for the first time last night.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess I gotta do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's this weird time where you need heat and also cooling at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Later today it'll be too hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out in Moab one time. It was like May or something. And at night it was like 20 degrees, and then during the day it was like 88.
Oh damn.
It was the biggest, craziest swing. I guess that's how deserts are sometimes. They're really cold at night, and then
Right. Yeah, no, I'm from Sweden, so I know cold. I don't know heat that much though.
does it snow a lot there?
Oh yeah, yeah, especially in the north. Winters are quite dark and long. Just a few hours of sunlight during like the December, January, February months. But then in summer, like May and June, July, then the sun just doesn't go down at all. It's just bright outside the entire day. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. And where are you right now? You're in the States right now, right? Or are you over
Uh,
there?
no, right now actually I'm in Cape Town, South Africa, and yeah, I work remotely out of here. I kind of divide my time between the States, Cape Town, and Sweden, actually. Digital nomad life, working
Awesome.
remotely. Yeah,
Yeah, living the dream. We could have a whole episode about that aside. That would be
exactly.
awesome. Nice. Yeah, because I heard what in our conversation you said you operate on Eastern Standard Time, which then
Yeah.
I meant to ask when you said that, and then we started talking about something else. But I wanted to know where you were, and obviously your accent
No.
is not of here. So yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
come up, come up. See a couple of you. I guess 9:05. We'll get started, and other people will come in as we go here. If I could find my notes and whatnot. Thanks for joining us today in Google for Real Estate. We're here live on Clubhouse every Wednesday, 9 to 10 a.m. I'm Derek, born and raised in South Central Pennsylvania. We call it Central PA, commercial and residential real estate agent since 2006, outdoor adventure sportsman, and Google marketing geek. In this room, we talk about how to dominate Google local search and get business from our Google business profiles, as well as discuss and talk about other Google marketing tools and productivity tools and stuff, and other digital marketing stuff, namely today websites, which has to do with our Google business profile and SEO and all that stuff. Um, Replays are available on Clubhouse for 7 days, and all of the replays are available via the link I put in the chat on my website. And if there are any supplemental things, today there'll be a bunch of links and things. So I'll probably put together a website page just for what we're talking about today. But in general, if there's like a spreadsheet template or the press release template from last week's episode. That's all on that link on my website as well. So all that stuff is ungated and you can have at it there, ungated for now. Links in the chat also for the podcast, blah, blah, blah. Listen in there. And please come up on stage if you're here. I just looked off. Is Glenda's room? That ended. So yeah, more people. Come up on stage. You don't got to talk, but I like to have a nice full stage. Listen, chime in if you want to. If you have an expertise on the subject, feel free to chime in. If you have a question, stop me. Tend to ramble. You guys know that, so just jump in and say, "Hey, I have a question about that." Um, and what else? Different profession. Oh, yeah. If you're in a different profession from real estate, a lot of the stuff we talk about here is geared towards real estate. But if you do any other local type business, usually anything here can translate to those types of businesses as well. Today, we're going to talk about, I got a little bit of news, not much, a couple items to talk about news wise. We'll do a little bit of Ask Me Anything before we get into the topic. If anybody has any questions about Google Business Profile or local services ads or other stuff. And then we'll get into it with websites for real estate agents with Max from Agent Fire, who you can see here up next to me. So I will get in right into the news items, and then we'll do the Ask Me Anything. I'm looking at the wrong date. Here we go. You might have all gotten, if you're running local services ads, you might have gotten an email in the last day or two telling you that your Google business profile is or isn't attached now to your local services ad so that it can share reviews. Basically, it's nothing new. Your local services ads has always shared reviews with your Google business profile. In the past, there has been a special review link in local services ads that gets you quote unquote verified reviews. And those verified reviews only populate and show up on your local services ads, not on your Google business profile. So up until now in the past, we haven't been using that link anyway because it's less bang for your buck. If I'm going through the trouble of getting reviews, I want them to populate on my Google business profile. Number one, local services ads is good, but I want it to be on both. So if you get them on the Google business profile, it would populate to both. If you got it on the local services ads verified review, it would only show up on your local services ads, could be kind of good. That was a ranking factor. If you concentrated on that, it could increase your leads and maybe get cheaper leads. However, local services ads is a more temporary thing. You may or may not run them forever. They may or may not exist as a product from Google forever. So any effort you put into that could be wasted effort down the road. But reviews on your Google business profile should be forever things that's definitely not wasted effort. So there used to be two review links, one on the Google business profile, one on the local services ads. Um, Now, the one on local services ads either has gone away in your account or will soon. You probably have, even if you have it still there, there's a little yellow uh, alert telling you what's happening, that it's going away, and it will only get reviews from your Google business profile. You used to be able to have a local services ads account and not even have a Google business profile. Having a Google business profile was not a prerequisite to run local services ads, but now it is, which is just taking Google further down the road of scrutinizing businesses and wanting all the I's dotted and T's crossed, and fraud. There's a ton of fraud in every kind of business, but especially on Google. So that's an effort to curb some of that. Some of it is also layoffs, I've heard. So they're kind of local services ads department is getting absorbed by some by the Google Ads, the regular Google Ads department, and some by the Google Business Profile or Google Maps. I guess those would be two different departments there. But local services ads is kind of what I heard is getting kind of downsized, and then these other departments at Google are absorbing it. So that's part of it as well. I've also heard rumors that the local services ads will start sharing more things than just the reviews. So it already always has pulled the reviews from your Google Business Profile. Now it can only get reviews from your Google Business Profile. But I've also heard talks that it might start sharing other functions or features with the Google Business Profile, which would be great for us that spend time to optimize everything. Because right now in the local services ads, there's not much you can do to stand out other than make sure your headshot's the bomb, make sure you have some good photos in there, and that's pretty much all you can do. And reviews. On the business profile, you've got products, you've got updates, events, and offers, and all kinds of stuff on there that you can do. So it would be cool if the local services ads kind of maybe it could share the products or display more things and just in essence be kind of a boosting of your Google business profile. So I'm guessing more changes similar to that maybe are to come, but that you probably, if you're running local services ads, I'm guessing you got that email 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It was this week, maybe as early as Friday. You got an email that said, and you might have gotten two emails that said, your local services ads account is not working because it's not attached to a Google business profile. And then you might have gotten an email later that said, good news, your local services ads account is now associated with your Google business profile. So there is some glitchiness in there. I've gotten questions about it. If you're having questions about, is there an issue? I got these emails, I don't know. Just go to your dashboard, click on your business verification tab, and you can be able to see right there, there's an item that says reviews. And if you click on it, it'll tell you if it's connected, if it's not. If it's red and saying it's not connected, then obviously it has disconnected and you need to figure it out. If it's sitting there green and you can click and see your reviews on there, then you should be good to go. regardless of what the emails say. So the emails are kind of confusing. Um, Hit me up if you have any questions, but that's the change. The verified reviews link is going away. Update from Cindy last. Is Cindy in here? Cindy, yes, and your hand is up. Come up. You don't need to talk, but you can if you want. I just have in my news. Last week, we talked about a couple changes that Cindy was going to make to her Google Business profile. She switched brokerages, so she needed to change the name. Well, she just wanted to delete the brokerage off of the name in her Google Business profile, and then we decided to hide the address, not change the address, just hide it. But because of Google's high scrutiny of Google Business profiles these days, we decided not to do both of those changes at once. So last week we revised the name, or Cindy revised the name, and I went to her profile and I can see that it's still verified and everything's fine, knock on wood. Um, so she's good there. And then we talked about in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from last week, she would hide the address, do the second step because we don't want to change things too much, um, hide the address, and then see if that triggers anything. And I think it should be fine. So far, so good. Changed the name last week, still verified, still fine. And then I have it in my notes to hide that address next week. Anything different, new, anything, Cindy? Did I invite her up? I think I did.
Oh, I'm here. Hi, Derek. Thank you. Yeah, that sounds right. Nope. I haven't done anything else. I'm being a good little student and I'm crossing my fingers for next week. Let's see that I can hide the address now and not get a trigger. I don't know. I hope that's the best plan.
Yep, it is.
Okay, Derek. I'm going
That's the
with
best
you.
plan to hopefully avoid a verification. And it still keeps, as we talked about last week, still keeps Cindy in the market where she wants to rank because her house is very close to where her Google Business profile is already sitting. And if she moved it to her new office, that's out of the market that she wants to rank in. So the best way for Cindy to stay ranking where she wants to rank, um, and update the address so she's not at the wrong address, is just simply hide the address, which typically does not trigger a re-verification. So hopefully we can do that next week, and I think we're going to be fine, but hopefully so. So tune in next week for that, and then I guess the week after for the success. Nothing happened. We didn't get unverified. And then the last thing of news, actually, I have two, I guess. One I just thought of. I still waiting. I talk about Bing Places and Apple Business Connect all the time, not all the time, but I mentioned those as two of the other big directories that you should be on out there. Those are the other two places you can have a business profile. They pretty much both just completely ripped off and mimicked the Google business profile. You can even in Bing, I think in Apple Connect too, but definitely in Bing, you can sync it with your Google business profile and most of your information comes over. And then in both of those things, you can also do further optimizations and stuff. So I like to be on those places, Bing Places and Apple Business Connect. But on Bing Places, you also have to get verified, and it's a postcard still, as far as I know, and in all the accounts that I'm on, it's a postcard. But I have tried, I think this is my fourth or fifth time, and I'm on the last day when it's supposed to be here by, and I still haven't gotten it. So it's starting to piss me off. I can't verify this stupid Bing Places business profile because the postcard won't come. And I checked the address is correct. I don't know if there's a glitch and their print shop is not printing and sending them or what. I don't, and I've never put a help ticket in with Bing. Google, I'm very familiar with. Bing Places, I've never put a help ticket in. So still trying to figure that out. It's annoying the crap out of me, but today's the last day and I haven't looked at the mail yesterday or today. So I'm going to wait until the mail comes today. Hopefully I have that postcard to verify my Bing Places and I can stop looking at that stupid thing. And then the last piece of news or tips or whatever you want to call it is I had somebody, I was talking to them, they reached out asking me about a verification thing that came from Google/YouTube. And at the time, I didn't know the answer because I'm not the YouTube expert, but I knew I had seen it. But basically, for those of you that don't know, there is a verification on YouTube that would be separate from a Google Business Profile verification. That would be separate from a local services ads screening verification, blah, blah, blah. There is a verification for your YouTube channel. If you go to, and I didn't know where it was yesterday, and now I don't have it open, so I can't tell you, but it's in one of the main settings in there, basic info, maybe, I forget. But there's a place where you go and you unlock special features, more features, basically. The first step is you get a text to your phone, and that's step one. And then step two is upload your ID, I think. And then step three was to do a video. I don't have it up again, but there are three steps. They do entail giving them your ID, possibly doing a video for them, but it's not scrutinized like Google Business Profile. It's not that big a deal. They just want to make sure you're an actual human. It's pretty easy to do. You definitely want to do it because I think even the first tier of verification gets you to be able to do 15-minute long videos, and then there's other features that you unlock when you get further verified. And you can also get automatically verified via just having a certain amount of uploads, and I think it's just uploads, maybe watch time, but I feel like it's just uploads or a certain amount of time or whatever. But so a YouTube verification, and it could be a video verification, is separate, is a different thing from your Google Business Profile. So if you get YouTube asking you for that, that has nothing to do with your Google Business Profile and should not be that big of a deal. I just did it. I had somebody ask about it, and then yesterday I actually did it with a client, and it's all good and went through no problem. So that is a separate thing. I think that's all I got for the news and tips and whatnot. So I'll move to ask me anything before we get into it. Anybody have any questions, issues about anything I just said or anything else Google Business Profile, local services ads related?
Hey, Derek, I do, if I could hop in. Um, about Bing. And now, what happens? What do you think will happen if I put example one of my what? So if I'm going to be unverified with Google on my address, yet Google actually has my old brokerage address because that's what it does. And so now what do I do with Bing? Because if I put a different address on Bing or list an address that Google doesn't have, Google's going to crawl and find that, see that, and that could flip a trigger or something. I was started to think. What's your thoughts on that, Derek?
Yeah, consistency is always best for everything to match up for sure. In your case, I would probably just be okay with that being different because the Bing place, if you just click sync or sync it with the Google Business Profile, which is what you typically do, you just sync it and then you change anything you want to change. Um, so if you synced it, it would show the address. And again, I'm not Bing Place's expert, but I feel like on Apple, on one of those, you can't hide the address, I think, no matter what, or I haven't figured out how, possibly. So obviously, if you did that with Bing, brought it over, you would have the wrong address in your Bing. On Google, you can hide it, so it doesn't matter. But on Bing, you're going to have that old brokerage address showing possibly, and you don't want that. So then in that case, I would probably just override the address on Bing, change it to, you could probably just change it to the other brokerage. I mean, I don't think the Bing, it's going to be a mismatching address anyway, and nobody's getting business from Bing anyway. As of right now, I've never heard of anybody actually getting it. It's more just to please Google and to be superstitious. Maybe you get something, but I would probably just change it to the new brokerage address, not your house, if it were me, especially since it's probably going to be showing. And then just be okay with that not matching up with Google. Just sometimes it can't be perfect.
Okay, so Derek, I might have a solution. So let's talk before we go any further with my Google page because I may have an address here. My state's broker's office is right down the street, and she's been really kind. So I may have a solution. Let's see what I can do.
Oh, right down the street sounds good. Anybody else? Any questions about what I'm talking about with Cindy or any of the other stuff?
Hey, Derek, it's Melanie. Um, I do have a GMB for it says real estate agency and vacation rental. And then I'm trying to put my my real estate business alongside the same area. And I says I'm breaking the rules. Is there anything I can do and I'm even hiding the address?
I totally zoned out. Can you say that
Yeah.
again?
My
Sorry.
one business is the vacation rentals. And then I want to put my realtor GMB up, but it's not letting me. I think it's a conflict because there's two businesses, like the real estate agency under my realtor is too similar to the other one. Is that a possible?
Yes. Yeah, they don't like multiple home-based businesses. Like obviously, if it's an office and there's separate office suites, that's acceptable. And even in that case, if it was the same address but different suites, but the same phone number, the same lots of other, maybe the website is similar, or I mean, it's going to be the phone number, the address, and the name of the business are the main things that they would match up. But yeah, they particularly don't like multiple home-based businesses. Having said that, I've got three Google Business profiles at my house, so they don't always crack down on that, and sometimes you can do it. So yes, one thing is definitely a different phone number. The name I would have different enough. So if your like last name is in both the real estate one and the other one, I would change them somehow or do something so that the names aren't probably don't have any similar words or same words in them, matching words. And then the address, obviously, that is has to be the same. So the other things you just have to make as different as possible, like you said. And then if you get and make sure the categories are different also for sure. You can't have real estate agent and real estate agent. So what is it? Rentals and then your real estate agent profile.
Yes, I believe the realtor I put under real estate agency, and the other one is vacation rentals. I believe. And then I have two buildings. Is there a way I could do Unit A and Unit B, but it's the same street address?
Yeah, you could. Again, you may or may not get it done, but yes, that would be the way to make it as different as possible. And then if you have to verify or do your verification videos, you could be walking into separate places. You might even have to put quote unquote permanent signage up, or something to even help with it a little bit. With a typical home-based business, you typically wouldn't have to have permanent signage, but if you're trying to do the sweet thing kind of, and you have two businesses that you're really trying to prove and get through, you might have to go a little bit step further to get everything done. And then last resort is you just got to locate one of them somewhere else.
All right, thank you. Someone suggested I could go to a local business and put my sign in there, ask them if I could put my sign in their window, but that seems a little wonky. Have you ever?
No, it's got to be permanent signage, quote unquote. So if they can tell that it's a sign in a window, like they really want it stuck on the window, a monument sign, a directory in the building, perfect. Perfect world is when you're doing the video and you're walking into your building, you can show the big monument sign that has the business on it. Then you, as you're walking in, show on the directory there it is, and then you walk into the office and there's signage on the door and in the office and all that stuff. So yeah, signage is a big thing if you're trying to be a physical location.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Anything else? All right, perfect. We got 30 minutes to dive into websites, which I've been dying to do, and I finally found a solution that I like. Um, So we're gonna get into it here. Let me get my notes back up. I think basically gonna drop it over to Max, but first we'll start with I'll introduce Max so everybody knows who is here, and tell you how I got to know Max and how I came upon this. So I've been searching out for a website partner provider. I do have other website builders that can build in WordPress and Wix and other platforms. I don't know the more heady stuff that people Elementor, is that one of the ones I hear?
Yeah.
That can build website. Yeah. So I've got partners that do all that kind of stuff, but I've never had. I don't have a good template for a website, and also those builders are single people builders that don't always have the capacity to take on work, or it's a big weight, or the cost is way high, or whatever. And I've also been looking at over time the chimes and the KV cores and all these kind of all-in-one solutions or IDX websites and other real estate websites that people have. I'm always paying attention to them, and they all kind of seem the same. Seem like they have the same stuff. Not a lot of thought is put into them. They all look the same design-wise.
Mhm.
And then the other day, a couple weeks ago, I guess at this point, I was on Lab Code Agents, or it was in my feed, some post on Lab Code Agents, and they had an episode with Jeff Bray, and a lot of you know Amanda and Jeff Bray. Um, they're on Clubhouse a lot. Amanda more than Jeff, and Amanda and I guess Jeff too are in Content Club as well. So anyway, I know the Brays. I saw his face, and I was like, oh, okay. I'll watch this episode, and it happened to be an episode with Agent Fire. I think it was the founder and CEO. What's his name? Nathan, something like that.
Nelson, yeah.
Nelson, yes, yes. I knew it was L or N. And I'll actually put that link in the chat here for everybody to. Well, first I will put. Yeah, I'll put link to the video to the podcast episode, and don't go watch it now because we're chilling here. And then I'll also put the Braze website, which was the focus of it. I think the title of the episode was the $1 million website, or how to get $1 million website, or whatever. So Jeff swears by his website. He loves his website. His website's the bomb. He sends everybody there. He derives a lot of business out of it. He converts people with it. Similar to how we kind of use our Google business profiles. Google me, go look at that, go here. He also has it as a resource and has lots of things that he sends people there as a resource for. So I've been looking for a website, somebody to partner with, something, an easier solution, a more affordable solution that was also actually good that I could offer to my clients. And I came across this this video, this episode with Agent Fire and the Braze, and I watched it and I liked everything I saw. I checked out some more of their websites. I checked out the Braze website some more, and if you check it out, the link is in the chat. Like I said, it's beautiful, and everything I was hearing was music to my ears. More as a marketer than a website designer, because a lot of times website designers are great at making things look pretty, but they're not really thinking about conversion or what elements really need to be
Mm.
there to make it function and make things happen. And a lot of the things they were saying made sense to me, and are things that the website was already kind of done. Like usually with my website designers, I got to comment out, all right, we need these 8 pages. I think eight's my boilerplate standard. You need the privacy policy, and the contact us, and the listing, and blah blah blah. We'll talk about what pages make up a website. But so there were all these pages that I would have to go through, and I have to explain how real estate works and all these things to all these designers. But they were already saying all the things, and they were saying it better than the other companies, and I just love the whole look of it. And there's a lot of customization that you can do. You can either do a less customization package or a more customization package. So I just liked everything I was seeing. And from a marketer's perspective, again, they were thinking about things that a lot of designers and website builders do not think about. And just the capabilities of their platform and everything appealed to me as well. So I reached out to them. I checked out their pricing. Max and I talked, and now This will be my main, or one of mine, if you want the custom website with the other builders or something, that's possible too. But I'll be offering the Agent Fires via me through via Max, and then through Agent Fire. We'll talk about what's offered there and everything. So that's a little intro about how I got connected with Max and why I like Agent Fire and how I came upon them. Again, those links are in the chat if you want to check out later the episode with Jeff Bray and the founder CEO of Agent Fire, and then also the Bray's website, which if you check out, you'll see it's the bomb. It's beautiful. So let's jump into it. Max, I'll stop yapping. Maybe you can intro a little bit about yourself and Agent
Sure.
Fire, and then we'll fire some questions at you.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, well, hey guys, my name is Max. I'm with Agent Fire. Well, I'm originally from Sweden. I work remotely for Agent Fire. We're a remote-based company, based in New York, but yeah, we have about 40 employees, web designers, marketing people, developers. Yeah, we all work together online, as you can now do these days, especially when you build a digital product like a website. But yeah, I've been working here for about 4 years now. I'm an executive at this moment. And yeah, all that I do every day is talking to realtors about websites, about how to build an effective site, not just a pretty to look at website, not just a site that is generic, does the bare minimum, but yeah, really advising realtors on their online presence. So yeah, that's a little story about me there. And today, I think, yeah, Derek, you have a couple of questions for me that we're going through about how to build that effective website. Is that right?
Yeah, and we'll keep it kind of I keep it kind of 101 in here and
Mm,
give some people some hopefully actionable things that they could take home. But the website's a little bit harder. People can't go home and just build a
yeah,
website and hopefully they come to us. But yeah, so my first question for you, we'll just start with what are I kind of started touching on it, but what are the main pages a real estate website should have? Because if somebody's going to go and if they're not getting it out of the box from a Chime or something like that,
yeah.
I keep saying Chime. I should say. I don't even know if it's called that anymore. I think they're called something else.
Lofty,
But
they're
anyway,
called now. Yeah.
yes, yes. But so if they go to somebody to design a website for them, they've got to come out with a plan, and they're gonna what do
Mm.
you call it? A scaffolding? It's not a scaffolding. It's a what's the structure of the website? They call it. Um,
Yeah. Well,
the framework, the frame, whatever you call it, the framework. Um, and you got to tell the designer which pages you want because they're going to say, okay,
yeah,
yeah, I can make it for you. What do you want? And you're going to say, I'm not sure. So even if you're not coming to us, if they're going to somebody else, what pages should most real estate websites
yeah.
have as a bare minimum?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting that right now, the of course your homepage is the most important page. That's the by far most visited page. But after that, it's actually going to be the About You page, the Why Choose Us, Why Choose Me page. It has by far more visitors than the, let's say, Search the MLS page, Search the Marketplace, IDX pages of the website. It really proves the point that your site is more of a kind of a trust building tool, a tool for social proof. People check you out. People go to a real estate site not just to do a property search anymore. They do that on Zillow, on Redfin, and so on. They go to your site to really check you out. Can I trust my business with this realtor? So first most important page, of course, the home page, but then it's definitely the About You page, the Why Choose Me page. After that, it's really important to have a great testimonials reviews page. That's frequently the next page that someone will then go to. Here you can leverage things like video testimonials, especially more telling, making it a case study almost when you work with a prospect from the from the very first stage till the day the deal closes. So homepage, why choose me, reviews, testimonials. Those are the three most important pages these days. Then other pages that we would always set up for a client, that is of course a general buyer pages, seller pages, in which you really in detail explain the process. It's important to appear as a market expert. Of course, it needs to be detail rich, easy to follow. It needs to leave a great impression, of course. Then also your portfolio pages in terms of sold listings, active listings, they kind of need to be almost separated from the general IDX MLS feeds. Not just a boring "here are my current listings" feature listing section. It should be a really stunning page that highlights again each listing that you've worked on, and then again setting those pages up about your listings more as a story than a here's the sold price, here's what the house looks like, here's some pictures. More of a story, a journey of how you help this specific prospect. So yeah, where we're at now, homepage, about, reviews, testimonials, then buyer page, seller page, and then my listings page or my portfolio page. Those are kind of must-have pages, absolutely.
I love the portfolio one. That's not one I thought of, and I think that's one of the ones that caught my attention in that video I was watching was the
Mhm.
portfolio one and having
Yeah,
it separate from a reviews tab. And I love the idea of having stories because stories equal more words, and more words about what you're trying to sell to people is good SEO. More words is
exactly.
better. So it's almost like a blog. Your portfolio could almost be like a blog. It could be a web where you have a portfolio, you kind of have a summary of a few different deals or something, and then each one of those webs out to its own blog article, so to speak,
Yeah,
about that. And it's conversion based. All these things you talked about are conversion based. If I went to Most times I go talk to people about a real estate website, and they talk to me about the buyer's page, the listing page, the buyer page, and the home page. Obviously, you did say that, but the buyer and the seller page, which are important, but the about page, the reviews page, the
mm,
portfolio pages, all that you mentioned are conversion things. And even on the home page, you've got those reviews in there. And they're very prominent on the web pages you guys built. And the hero text at the top of the homepage doesn't say Jeff Bray because that's dumb. I know I went to Jeff Bray's website, and it's not. They're the Oasis group, but I already know that it should be saying something else, a call to action, or stating your unique selling proposition or something. So a lot of those pages I like. I think I counted six, and three out of the six are pretty much all conversion based. And the about us page is important. Everybody
yeah.
neglects that one. Everybody, they pull up their website, they drop the headshot. It asks them for a headshot. It asks them for a paragraph about themselves. They write the minimum in that, and that's the about page, and that's it. So there should be a lot
Yeah,
more time spent on the about us. Would you
exactly.
also have the reviews on the about? Does like an about
Yeah,
us page and a reviews page and a portfolios page also share some of the characteristics from the other page? If I'm
yeah.
asking that right?
Actually they do. Yeah. So reviews should actually almost be featured on every single page of your website. At least a blurb, at least one great review, one testimonial that appears. But yeah, every page should feature some reviews, but then also a really solid main page for all of the testimonials. Maybe you have video testimonials. That's something that could be really great to include on a website as well. And then I see Cindy here. She asked about landing pages. Yeah, that's landing pages. You can consider things like area pages, community pages, and that's another spot where you can really shine with your website. Having content-rich community area pages that really highlights that you're a local market expert. Because a prospect doesn't just need help searching for listings. They have that on Zillow. They have that on Redfin. They look for a local guide in the real estate market, the most knowledgeable realtor, and that's where you can then shine with really content rich area pages that include uh, information about the local best restaurants, gyms. There can be lots of information about schools, about yeah, even a blog you can include about every single area that you serve. So yeah, then landing pages, good example of that will be highly effective, content-rich local area pages, community pages. Yeah,
I
and then
love that.
Cindy
That was
just yeah. Yeah, and Cindy also just mentioned neighborhoods. That's also a good one. As many generic real estate websites, they will have just a section for featured areas, and then they click on one area. It's maybe a city, a town, a county, and all that you have there are listings. Just a search for that area. That's couldn't be more generic. Of course, you should have listings on your community pages. That's often a great lead capturing tool. They will see lots of content, see of the effort that you've put into providing more information about the area, and then they see a listing, and that's where they maybe reach out, save a listing, start a search, create an account with the website. And how granular you should be, that really depends on your market. Sometimes, yeah, in a more rural market, you can go by counties even, and then go into the smaller towns in a larger city. You can start off with like main areas like Charlotte South, Charlotte North, and then from there they can actually drill down into specific neighborhoods where they've discovered more and more content about each and every neighborhood, each and every area, not just the listings.
Yeah, and that is you're speaking my language because that's exactly what you want for local SEO.
Mm.
You're
Oh
with
yeah.
community pages and saying it very, very clearly to Google that I serve the area that I'm stating I serve on my Google Business profile. Everything we do on our website helps our Google Business profile rank as well.
Yeah.
So it's great, and it's usable. Also, it actually helps people, which makes it easy for you to use it as a resource for yourself. When somebody asks a question, you can actually send them with confidence to your website that's going to look awesome and answer their question perfectly, which will also in turn help your SEO because Google's watching
Yep.
when people are on your website and how long did they stay on your website and did they click on things on your website and all that stuff. And again, just more words on your website, more pages, and community pages are the exact thing we want for local type businesses like real estate. We want to be talking about the words of the cities you serve, the words real estate, the word talking
Right.
about the area more than anybody else. And if they're useful resources, you might be able to get backlinks too and get featured in other places and get your word out there that way. And then as far as landing
Mm.
pages goes, one of the standard ones that I saw you guys mention and we talked about also would be a listing page. So like on
Right.
my website, I prefer to, when I'm in coming soon, I create an actual page on my website. Well, I just duplicate the last one and then change whatever I need to so that I've got a page out there before the other guys, and it's an actual page on my website. It's not just some IDX feed with widgets and all that kind of stuff. So we talked about having one of those. You guys have one. It's fed by the multi-list, so they have an
Hmm.
easy solution to make it super easy to make your own landing page that's pretty and designed however you want it to be, so to speak. But you could also, but then I said, well, what about coming soon? Because I want to put it out there before it's in the multi-list or before the feed is active for me to be able to do that. And no problem, we duplicate it. We can change the elements, or we could just create a whole new page if we really had to. So that would be something that is doable. And also, I heard them talk about. That's why another thing that chimed my ears when they said it was that's it's like, oh yes, that's I want that, because everybody else they're just going to say pull it up on your IDX, just search for the address, pull up the IDX feed page, and that's what you want to do. But I want a full page dedicated to each property,
Yeah.
and sitting there. And again, those are words of the place. It's the address of the place. It's the words about the house within the description, the words real estate, the words realtor, the words Carlisle, Pennsylvania in there over and over and over again. So I love that, and that was music to my
Yeah.
ears when I heard custom landing or your
A
own listing pages.
listing page. Yeah. Yeah. It's also great to use it as a tool when you work with sellers. You can even set up a page for that listing when you talk to the seller first and highlight how you would market a listing differently than other agents. Just a much more professional presentation of a listing that can take you far with a seller. So yeah, it's SEO benefits, conversion benefits. Those pages tend to look much nicer than MLS pages, so they tend to convert better in ads and marketing campaigns. And yeah, their sellers love them.
And you can offer things to the public too that they might not be able to get
Hmm.
somewhere else, or they might have to go to an agent to get. Like on mine, I like to, the utilities, the disclosure, all those things that would be associated documents on the
Yeah.
multi-list that somebody would have to go through an agent to go get. They can get all that stuff on my website and all the photos, and it's got links to every video tour. If I have multiple videos, all in one place, everything one-stop shop. So it's a way to be able to do things like that. Obviously, some things are sensitive. You don't put out there, like I don't put leases out there to the public or something, but anything that can be out there, you can add those things in there too and be able to provide more of a service. And after a while, you get known to have the place where people can get all the stuff. Are there any other pages we're missing here? We didn't talk about privacy policy,
Hmm.
maybe one of those, and a couple ones like that. In real estate, I I would probably make a notices page, something to that effect. For SEO, you kind of want to name it privacy policy, just because Google and they want to see verbatim, like this is the privacy policy. But possibly on the same page, I would have the consumer notice. In Pennsylvania, we have to serve people with a consumer notice. It's always good to have on a website. So I think mine, I have a notices page, which takes you to a notices page. And then from there, you click to see the privacy policy. So I actually have a privacy policy page also, but then a consumer notice page. So those little incidental kind of compliance pages like that might be included as well. Any other? I can't think of any others. So what does that leave us at?
Um,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
yeah, maybe
9-ish. Yeah, 9-ish pages.
missing the blog as well, and yeah, nowadays there's no excuse for not having a good blog because you can write amazing blog articles just using AI, and yeah, the blog should be again rich in content about the local market, the local area. Again, showcasing yourself as the local market expert rather than just the regular realtor that just features listings, listings, listings on the site. You know.
And then you can customize a
Hmm.
blog page, how it would you insert your photo and your headlines and whatever.
Yeah.
But you can still dictate it because a lot of times people think that blog section of my website is just I write the blog and then it appears whatever way it appears. But you can customize how your blog appears too, right?
Absolutely, and yeah, with our platform, you can also include YouTube videos. You can set up a vlog essentially. So whenever you have a YouTube video, then that will be added to your blog. People can watch it there as well, and then you write the entire script essentially of your YouTube video below that video. So you get double the SEO benefits there. YouTube is owned by Google. They like having YouTube videos on pages, and then you write it out to have the copy there, which also helps with SEO. But yeah, also other social media integrations are great to showcase on the site, making the site a bit more personal, more about you, less about, again, generic real estate. So if you are on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, then there will be, even with if you have a self-hosted WordPress website, you can find widgets and feeds that you can place onto your site that automatically pulls in all of your latest social media content onto your site. You know,
Yeah, I love that because on my website, I don't get a lot of leads from my website alone, but any non-IDX kind of property sign-in page, any non-those
Mhm.
leads, just calls like I was on your website and I called you because of it, they always cite things that are personal about me. It's not like I saw your IDX search and I thought I would reach out to you. It was I read this specific thing on your services page, like I have a triple guarantee, and no dual agency is one of them, and a 1 day listing, and sold or I'll buy it or whatever. So the very particular things or reviews, or they cite things that are very particular and unique to me. They are not things that are on every other website. So if you really
Yeah.
want to convert with a website, like Max said, it should be designed in a way that is a lot more personal, and a lot more you.
Hmm.
Anything else about, so we got the pages down pretty well, which pages should be included. What about design elements? We touched on it a little bit. As far as the design of a website, are there certain
Yeah.
colors people should use, or does it not matter? Use whatever you like, or how is your design process, or how do you come up with like the general design and the look of it?
I mean, yeah, colors. You should be using colors that pain in the eye, like like super mustard or super pink, super bright. But really, first rule is know your market. Um, if you, for example, don't serve a ultra luxury market, don't build a site that looks like you do because people will see through it. It looks just cheesy and unauthentic. So it's important to find a balance between yeah, having a site that is well designed but not oversteps into like ultra luxury and flashy and all, and then yeah, and then there are listings for just 200,000, 300,000 there. It may completely backfire. So it needs to be friendly and approachable. And again, they will see if it is really your personal color, then go for that. Your personal favorite color. It's authenticity here that's the general rule that you have to follow for the design. But then other important design elements, social proof again, your testimonials, your social media feeds, case studies, video testimonials, all of that can be easily integrated onto any website. Um, and again, content-rich pages, pages all about the area, all about the market. You as an expert, Derek, I think you're muted there. Derek, did we lose you? Lose you?
I'm talking with my mic off.
Yeah,
What was I saying?
thought so.
Oh, yeah. So in the design elements, you're also designing in
Mm,
the conversion elements that we've already talked about. Obviously, you're giving content that people will actually consume and stay on and read and actually think that you're the expert and reach out to you. So number one, the content itself should be unique and actually helpful, but then also you want to have the reviews and the social proof and all the things. What about for conversion, other than social proof and proving to people that I know what I'm talking about and other people have used me and say I'm good too? What about things like calls to action, like the phone number being easily accessible, other conversion
hmm
items like that? How important are those, and what do you guys do to place buttons in the right places and phone
Yeah.
numbers and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we call it value-driven lead capturing. So many generic real estate websites will be highly annoying. There's stupid pop-ups appearing everywhere. You're blocked from accessing certain pages. They just scream for your personal information. Sign up, sign up, sign up now. Effective lead capturing, it's about providing value with the website. Value through things like seller guides, buyer guides, relocation guides, offer free content, free advice, free resources, and those would then be your pop-ups that appear. They may be search the IDX, search in the MLS right now on the website, browse through listings, and after one or two listings viewed, there's a nice looking pop-up saying. Get access to my buyer's guide, helping you navigate this market. Or on the seller's page, there's a seller guide that pops up. Then yeah, really anytime you ask for someone's information, you must provide something of value, like a market report, get access when they're checking out a community, um, offer free consultations, free not just an instant home valuation, but actually an in-person home valuation pop-up or call to action can often be much better than those instant tools that never really work. Um, so yeah, value-driven lead capturing. That's how we like to call it. Always providing free content, free resources, and that triggers people attention. Yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be a theme throughout this whole thing is
Mhm.
actually giving value, which is
Yeah.
what a lot of people in this room kind of get that and might be preaching to the choir a little bit. But giving value that is actually valuable to people and not just giving them the same thing that everybody else gives them. I've
Yeah.
always had that. I like the idea of not, this isn't an instant home valuation. You'll get less leads from a click this to actually get a custom me come to your house and the full white glove service. You'll get less leads, but the leads you get will be good ones, intentional ones, yada yada. So I love that. Um,
Yeah, no, like many of those all-in-one systems where they handle websites, CRM, and marketing and ads for you at the same time. They often even promise you will get 200 leads a month or something like that, but you will get absolutely low quality, terrible leads. They just need to make up on their promises, right? And why are they low quality? It's because the website is low quality. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't have any actual useful advice. It's just a generic IDX MLS property search website that everyone has, that the prospect has already encountered 4 or 5 times that very same day. So yeah, that's again where you have to think out of the box, offer free resources on the site, things that yeah, things that the other other realtors don't do.
Hey, Derek, can I hop in?
yeah, what's up?
So he says you have to think out of the box. I love that because, for years I was looking for mine to be all in a box, to have my website
Yeah.
and my CRM and all that all together in a box. That was my motive. Okay. And I'll tell y'all, it took that consumed is a nicer word from saying wasted, a good year of my time and a whole lot of money. So
Yeah.
when you said that, my ears perked up, and I'm in full agreement. So I'm giving you a high five over here. I love this,
Thanks.
Derek. Thank you for bringing your friend in here, Max. Good to meet you. Thanks for being with us. I do have
Oh, no
one
worries.
question, if
Yeah.
I could, Derek. This is geared to Derek. I'm trying to find on Google. Our list of referrals of everybody here that we've got a map, our referral map of all of us. And I don't know where to go find that. Like I get the notifications when you add another person to our group, but I don't know where to go find it.
I'll send you a link to it. And there are others out there too, but what Cindy is referring to is my Google Maps link. So my referral list is just a Google Maps list of if you have a Google business profile, I save you to a list. And then every time I save somebody new, if you're following the list, a lot of times you get a notification. So I'll send you the link to it. And again,
Oh,
it's not I wish we could aggregate everybody's lists because I think generational real estate has a list. Real
ah,
estate from the heart has a
okay.
list. I think Rue has her own list. A couple other people. Juan has a real estate all day list. So
Oh, well, so
yeah.
then that brings me to, hey, could you put on the book on the agenda to talk about how to build the, I know you've already done it, but maybe you could circle back, Derek, for the slower learners in the classroom like me, and how to build those lists. So example, my favorite restaurants. Here's my favorite resorts, so on and so forth, that we can send to our clients. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wrote it
Oh,
down.
yeah.
That would
I
be a
like that,
good
huh?
screen share too.
Okay, wheels are
Yeah.
rolling
Maybe I'll
now.
do that next week.
And so then
Thanks.
and could those be something that we put on our, of course we can blog that, we can put that in numerous places, right? Send it in an email, use it as part of marketing. Or a newsletter example. But what about putting any of those lists onto our website? Because see, I don't have it all in a box anymore, Max. No,
Yeah.
I got a divorce from that lofty system. Oh, I didn't say that system. Okay, whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, you maybe won't believe it, but we're actually talking to Lofty at the moment because they really need better websites, and we're integrating into their CRM, which many people actually like. So, yeah, with these all-in-ones, you cannot have it all. It's always going to be a generic system that's most realtors will have. It's the same website over and over again, the same kind of marketing, especially the same ads that they are running for their clients. And the CRM is usually the best working portion of those all-in-ones. But yeah, we have a different approach. We call it the tech stack, where you layer proven tools and features and together build your own all-in-one essentially. So we integrate with the best CRMs out there. We know who are the best real estate marketing companies out there, SEO companies, and so on. And yeah, you can actually build your own all-in-one system that way, and you won't be locked into any contracts. It's likely to even be more cost effective. So yeah, but Cindy, you just mentioned things like restaurants and all. One good example are on those area pages, your community pages. There you can have a feed from, for example, Yelp reviews, automatically featuring the highest rated local restaurants, bars, shops, cafes. You can write lots of information about the schools, etc. And here at Agent Fire, we actually have that automated. We have a tool, it's called Area Guides, and with the click of a button, it generates a hyper-local area page that will have listings, of course, but also featuring the highest rated local businesses, the best schools. There's even a blog that can now write articles about that area for you. It's AI written blogs. So yeah, I'm gonna link you to one of those awesome pages here in a second. Let's just use Jeff's website.
Okay, so I want to do a fire emoji, you guys, here on my face, but there's no fire because what you're saying is so fire in your name, Agent Fire. Anyway, where did the
Yeah,
fire freaking emoji guy go?
They replaced it with
yeah,
all
awesome.
the Halloween stuff.
Oh, that's where it went.
Yeah, I just dropped a link to a so-called area guide on Jeff's website, and that entire page you see there is automated. There's no manual input of content of anything. It's all set up automatically through various data plugins, data sources. Yeah, with us, it's a tool that you can utilize as much as you like with your website. And then Richard asked, what CRMs do we recommend for WordPress? Well, we think right now it's Follow Up Boss is the best real estate CRM. They were bought by Zillow last year, but it's kind of a situation where you have to work with the devil. But Follow Up Boss, I would say, is the best one at the moment, especially for single agents, smaller teams. Then after that, you can look into things like Wise Agent and Lion Desk. Those are the top three CRMs that our clients tend to use. You know,
Good morning, it's Megan Gardner from Long Island, New York. I have a quick question. If we, okay, I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm a KV Core user, and I've, for whatever many reasons, I just feel like I want to go a different direction. I don't want to start over a whole new CRM, but I clearly want to have a new website. Can I start anew, and could I just keep interfacing with KV Core just for the CRM portion?
Yes, you can. KVCore has a WordPress API plugin, so pretty much any WordPress website can link with KVCore. Yeah, we also work our clients. Many of them use KVCore. We actually used to be a partner company of theirs for clients who wanted a more customized, branded website, not the out-of-the-box template-based sites that they offer. So we used to work with them, but their support team is not the best, and well, the business relationship soured a bit. But we still integrate fully with KV Core. All of your leads, all of the lead activities that can flow into your CRM seamlessly there, and that accounts for actually any WordPress-based website, not just Agent Fire.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
I have a two-part question for you. One,
Sure.
we're looking for a an alternative to create maybe our own lead aggregation platform, and just to kind of flesh that out a little bit. What I mean by that is, you've got your Zillows, you've got your Realtor.coms,
Mm.
but we're trying to move away from that. We're trying to create our own organic way to create leads. Now, this may be a combination play in terms of a question and answer between you and Derek here, because Derek is very mindful of the Google business page and platform. How do we leverage that along with the PPC kind of lead aggregation? And then the second part of this would be, is there a better play? We currently partner with, your, what you just said, your, YLOPO kind of lead aggregation kind of system. Along with that,
Yeah.
is there a different partner, and who should we do it with, and how do we do it?
Yeah. Their marketing, we call it copy and paste pay-per-click ads. So it's pretty much the same targeting strategies, the same ad copies, the same graphic designs. Anyone who signs up for their services will have the same ads essentially. Sometimes it can be a big hitch. I've met realtors that have great success with YLOPO especially, but then sometimes it can be complete miss because it doesn't really matter if you're in downtown Manhattan running ads or if you're in rural Kansas. You will have the same kind of ads set up, and one may not work for the other market. So yeah, with the website, you can build it more as a search platform, really utilize the IDX again more, have it more set up as a Zillow type site, and then ads you can run through places like Street Text. That's a easy to use do it yourself real estate marketing platform, streettext.com. Other than that, it's yeah, really you learning Google Ads yourself, Facebook ads using their marketing platforms and directing that traffic to the website. But Derek, I'm sure he has lots to say about this.
Yeah. Well, first, I'm assuming you're running local services ads. They're not the end all be all or anything, but that's
Mm,
low barrier to entry. Set it up, get whatever leads you get from that for sure. No brainer there. And then Google Business Profile. Obviously, the goal there, or not obviously, maybe, the goal there is hopefully to get some organic and free leads from that. Anything you do on your website, SEO wise, or anything you do on your website helps your Google Business Profile even before your actual website is ranking as a website. If you have it set up properly with the property keywording and proper setup, it will then almost instantly raise your Google Business Profile and make you rank for a lot more terms. So organically, what you do on the website is going to help your Google Business Profile even before that website starts ranking. On the paid side, to generate leads, you already touched on it. If you're running Google ads, Facebook ads, any kind of ads for the most part, it's way, 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 way easier and cheaper to get buyer leads. So it's probably going to be buyer leads, which you're used to anyway for the most part, I think. Um, and you probably again just mimic what everybody else does. The best is an idea. That's why Zillow wins. That's why Realtor.com wins. That's why everybody else, any ad you see running or any real estate site goes right to a search, and then you have to sign in or opt in, and you're going to get those same types of leads as when you click in a KV core to boost
mm.
my post on Google, and then you get some crappy kind of leads. I call them crappy, but obviously you can convert some, and it's the name of the game. So a lot of it is going to be buyer based when you're running ads for sure. If you, in my experience in Google ads, if you cut out all the buyer keywords and focus just on the selling keywords, it won't even spend your money almost. Sometimes it will, and it depends on the market. But it really, really is in search. In my markets that I've gone in, and in my experience, it's a buyer game. So having that a really good IDX feed, like Max touched on, an IDX page, even if your whole website isn't focused on the IDX. Like I don't think it should. I
Yeah,
think it should be like like Jeff's. It should be a nice, awesome website. But if you have an IDX on your website, you can build whatever other pages you want as an ad. But those ad pages probably would be some kind of search or property page or something like that. And then once you start talking about YouTube ads and all that kind of stuff, I mean, talking about ads and lead gen could go on forever. But in general, it's usually buyer type stuff and the seller type stuff. That's like the holy grail we're all trying to figure out.
Hey, Derek. I mean, and I've got to ask this. I mean, and because it's coming. I mean, the real competition is coming. I mean, let's be real here. We have Realtor, we have Zillow. Everyone's coming for us, right? And my real question here is, has anybody given real thought to leveraging what you're doing with the Google business page and then maybe also like routing people to their own super app? That's where Zillow's going. I mean, let's be real. I mean, they're telling us that's what they're going to do. Has anybody given thought to that? Like, and what I mean by that is even creating a website that even acts as its own super app where you can
yeah,
search property and do all the things that Zillow will do, but doing it all almost on a very local level.
yeah. There's one company called Rooster, Ruuster, that do development for realtors. It's then a branded app that functions very much like Zillow. That is yours. It's generally great for nurturing leads. You capture leads still through a website usually, through an ad, and then when they're in your system, then you can leverage those built-in app tools where you can easily push listings to your prospects via the app, help them with their searches. So Rooster can be interesting for you to check out there. Yeah.
I think so. Here's my first thought. How many times have you had a lender say, "Hey, I got this new app that your clients can sign into, and they can search in there, and we get notified and all this stuff." It seems to be lenders that always have, "I got this new app that you can sign in and nurture," and kind of the same kind of thing. And I'm always thinking, I don't, they don't, they're going to search on Zillow anyway. And it's all kind of with an app. I think you'd be spending a lot of money and making a lot of effort to
Yeah.
get people to use something they don't want to use in the first place. I think the answer is the opposite. And the same thing we've been talking about today is be more personal. The website should be less of an IDX and more personal. Um, Creating content is a way, like Juan and the other people that crush it getting business from content. That's personal. Being something the computers can't be. Or Michelle Meinhardt, who the staging is done. I mean, really, in her commission is also getting the house ready. It's painting. Like they pressure wash. They're not itemizing and giving people a bill. They are personally doing things and fixing things and doing a more personal touch, white glove service. So I think what it's going to be the opposite. Doesn't mean you don't lead gen and have opt-in forms on your website and do some Google ads and local services ads and whatever else. But I think where it's going is it's more of the white glove. It's more of the you're coming to me because it's white glove. It's an actual human and it's high-end premium service, and you're going to get more from us than other people. And people like you will can probably have more resources since you're a bigger team to make that red carpet experience and white glove experience even better. Michelle is, I mean, anybody
That's
that follows Michelle in here knows nobody does more stuff than Michelle, and her price point warrants it. Like, yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't do that stuff in my market, but yeah.
I just yeah, no, and look, I really kind of agree with you. I was wondering what your, especially since where you're coming from with like the Google business stuff, like what your aspect of like where you're coming from with it. I agree. You know, how do you compete? And do you feel, and this is the thing, and I don't want to feel like it's a loss here, but it almost feels like we've lost the battle. We've already lost the battle with Zillow and Realtor.com. Like they have already beaten us with the internet thing, and that's something we can leverage. But then what do we do better? And it sounds like what you're saying is, hey, leverage what you can where they are the dominant feature in the space, but then also then leverage the the client facing awesomeness you can provide essentially, right? Am I getting that correct?
For sure. Just making it undeniable. Like, why would you not refer me? I destroyed everything. Like, it should be wow, wow, holy crap, more than you think you should be doing. And frankly, I was taught by good old boys, and they, like all the stuff that realtors do these days, they don't do. Like, I'm not doing all that. That's not what I'm paid for. I'm paid to know the process, keep you legal, and find a buyer. What I'm not cleaning stuff. I'm not staging nothing. I'm not, like, that's not my expertise, not what I do. But I think those days are over. You got to, especially at a higher price point, you better be doing a lot for your clients and crushing it and leaving settlement. Some people don't even show up to settlement. Like, what are you doing? The last taste in their mouth, even if the whole transaction sucked, the settlement's going to be a party, and we're going to be smiling, and there's going to be balloons, and I'm going to send you off with at least a little bit of a good taste in your mouth. So I think the experience is huge, which sucks for people
Mm.
like me because that's not really my jam. And I don't sell a ton of real estate anymore. I do the marketing stuff, but I think that's what it is. And a literal red carpet, possibly. We have people in the group that have literal red carpets for the buyer walkthrough or whatever. Um, and I see we're at quarter after, so I'll get
Yeah,
after.
I
I
have
guess we
about
go ahead.
five. Yeah, I have about 5 more minutes. Then I actually have another meeting to go to. But yeah.
Sweet. Yep. I think we talked about most of the stuff I had on my list, and we just did the Q&A,
Hmm.
so that marks that off. Maybe just cut to the chase of what do we have an offer for everybody? And we can tell there are different tiers of pricing and everything for a website with Agent Fire. What the procedure would be if you want to pursue something is to reach out to me, discovery call link, and in my email when I send it out today, I'll have a discovery call link for me. And then I would then put you in contact with Max, who would do the demo and talk about what you want, go through the pricing, and then sign you up and get you onboarded and get off to the races if you decide to do that. So I'll have all that stuff for everybody. But do we have an offer for everybody? Is that true?
Yes, actually. So we will be offering 20% off on all of our setup fees, as well as a free month when you sign up through a specific promo code. Derek will share with you guys. Yeah. No, but I guess a final quick summarizing pitch about Agent Fire there. So what we do is basically two things. We are a website design service, branding service, building highly effective, beautiful sites, but then also a platform, a CMS essentially, like WordPress. We are actually built on WordPress, but yeah, we then leverage the tools that make the website more than just pretty to look at, but actually rich in content without you actually having to put in much effort, much work into the site, like those hyper local area pages with businesses, schools, market reports, an AI blog that can write articles for you, um, a tool that can generate beautiful listing landing pages, listing presentation type pages for your listings, your solds, your actives with just a couple of clicks. Yeah, we're in one part a great web design service at a good cost as well. And then a platform, a real estate website platform that gives you full control over your own site, easy to use tools, great lead capturing, and all of that. Yeah, and the pricing, I guess, I'm sure you're interested. Pricing with us starts from $500 setup and $149 per month. And the setup fees, they vary depending on how custom built your website should be versus how template based it can be. And even if it's a template based site, the site will not be a cookie cutter generic IDX listing search type website that everyone has. It will still be a site that is all about branding your content, your market, your expertise. Yeah. And all of the tools and features you will still have, even with a more basic website.
Did you have a question, Natalka? Bumped the mic by accident. Cool. Yeah, and even the fully custom is what is very reasonable. If you go to any of my subcontractors for a full custom website, it is not what it is way more multiples of more than Agent Fire charges for the setup of even the most fully custom one, which is that's what Jeff has. And if you watch that video with Jeff, he pretty much gave them nothing to go on. So they created that website with almost no input from Jeff because he's just busy and didn't have time to send them stuff. Um, but hopefully you would give them more. But they did that almost without much input from Jeff, which is another amazing thing that I was like, wow, that's really great. And another thing, anytime I hear WordPress, that was another thing that I liked. It's built in WordPress, blah blah blah. But also all the capabilities of everything. So I'm a marketer, so we have the ability to do our put our Google Tag Manager and our Facebook Pixel and our Google Marketing Tag and the LinkedIn Remarketing Tag and all the cookies and all the good marketing stuff and set up all the SEO stuff we need to. So they also have the ability to do all the way complicated, heady, more in-depth things as well. Because as soon as you get a website, if you come to me to do ads or something, we're putting all those codes on it. And if there's nowhere to put the codes, that's a problem. But they have the ability with their websites. Yeah, they can do anything under the sun. You come up with it, could be done. And if you started with a lower tier one, you can always add on to it. It's a website. It doesn't stay the way it is now. So you could start
Yeah.
with a lower one and then move your way up. Anything else you want to say
Uh,
before we take
yeah.
off?
And integrate it into your tech stack, or else helping you find your ideal tech stack with the best CRM, best marketing tools, SEO tools. That's also part of what we do. But yeah, I gotta jump now. It was great meeting you all, guys. This was fun. Thanks for inviting me, Derek. And yeah, I'm sure Derek, you'll. I sent you some links over for sample sites. There's a pitch deck, additional info. So I'm sure you'll share that with everyone here on the call.
Yep. Thanks for stopping in, Max.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.
Thank-
See ya.
Thanks,
Bye.
Max. Thanks, Derek. That was a great room. Derek, thank you. So much
Yeah.
value. You little rock star. Look at you. Oh my gosh, you're hard to keep up with. Yeah, that was such a great content day. Thanks, Derek. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for being here, and the rest of you as well. Any last minute questions regarding what we talked about or anything else? Speak now or hold your peace till next week. All right, sweet. Everybody get after the day. Have a good hump day, and we will see you next time. And all those links he talked about will be somewhere. The replay with the or the email with the replay will go out soon after we hang up, and somehow that will get you to what you need, hopefully. So talk to
Other,
everybody soon. What's
yeah.
up?
Otherwise, Derek, we know where you're at. We've got your Google profile. We'll find you. If
There
you
you
don't
go.
send us the links.
That's what I told Piper to tell people because I left her at soccer practice. I thought it ended 30 minutes before it ended the other day. So I was late getting there, and one of the parents called me and found me because I taught Piper to just say, all you have to do is Google Derek Realtor, and it will be right in your face. So it works even for soccer parents to find you when you're late to soccer.
I love it. That's awesome.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.